Okay, so I had planned for something more interesting for my first video, but I just came back from a trip in Toronto and the gear for recording has arrived, so I want to test it out, but this is all I have. These are little mini polymer clay hearts that I made. I love these hearts. Unfortunately, I only have one mold, so they all say XOXO. Right now they're just gonna be in teeny tiny goodie bags for those who ordered my new book, because I just had a new book come out. But I'm not gonna show it here because part of me isn't sure whether I want this to be connected, this channel to be connected to my real life. So for now, we're just gonna say I have a new book out, and that is that. I did make it an earlier batch before I left my trip, so right now these are the ones that I have left that I haven't finished. So we're gonna bag these. I have stickers coming, and that'll be another video, but I'm just gonna put these in. So yeah, they're going to people who have ordered up my book and basically have paid for me to sign a book. Oops, I want a different color. For me to sign a book and mail it to them, and it includes one of these. But one person who orders my book will get surprise earrings in them as well. But these are just for everyone else. And I'm actually pretty glad that I just have the mold that says XOXO, because like a lot of people who order them are my friends, but others are kind of people I don't know as well. So it would be strange to have a little package of hearts that says kiss me or love you, because I don't really want them to kiss me and I don't really love them. But don't worry, this part will be quick, and then I do have other stuff that I'm making too tonight for the book launch. It'll be just swag stuff, but I'm getting these done first. Oops. I'm trying to make them different colors. There is a cat. I have another cat, but this is Danny Loki Chaos. She has a little spoon on her thing, on her back, because she likes to go in and out of the patio, and the spoon kind of keeps her from being suicidal. Because we are on the 3rd floor, and technically if she fell, she would live, but I don't want to try that. And the patio's open for the cats at all times. The other one, the fluffy one, his name is Nimbus, and he is much better. In general, he's just a better cat in general. Like, I love them both, but he's fluffy and just really docile and never annoys me and never jumps on my desk and blocks my screens. And he also knows not to, well, maybe it's because he's really fat, but he also knows not to stick his head out too far into the balcony railings to fall out. And yes, at one point I had considered, actually I had planned to cat-proof the balcony, but our building has really strict strata rules. Like, you can only have 4 or 5 potted plants, though I've broken that one because I have a lot of plants. And you cannot really have anything kind of along the railings, not even planters. And if you, well, now they're going to be doubled. If you break any of those rules, basically you're forfeiting the lease. Oh, I found 2 more here. So, as someone who has moved like 25 times in her undergrad, I do not want to forfeit my lease. So, this spoon works just fine. And she's comfortable. She's slept with it on before. She really doesn't care. I love how she's just watching me right now. Let's do a pink here so that there's some more colors in the last one. And it's fun. Oh wait, actually. yeah, like, oh, my screen just went black. So I guess I have to move the cursor every once in a while. This is like my first time using Streamlabs. I'm very technologically deficient, and I tried to actually just record this over Zoom. And my lovely fiance, spouse, or common law right now, was like, what are you doing? And actually, after downloading Streamlabs, it's much clearer. I thought I had to buy like a whole new webcam, but I don't, so I'm really happy. He saved me like $100. So these are ready to go into the little packages. They're gonna be mailed out in this. These are little envelopes that I ordered like 4 years ago for my first book. So yeah. Wait, how does this work? Oh well, you're not gonna. Oh, there you go. Well, that's the inside of it. So the book is gonna go in next, and yeah. So now I'm just gonna put everything in here for now. I'll do another shipping video if people are interested. Not that I have any viewers right now because it's my very first. All right, now time for the pins. These are little pins. They're already cut into little circles. Right now they're Sanrio themed, but these are pins that I made in my Toronto residency. It was a writing residency because I'm an author, but basically I'm used most of the time to swim and go to clubs, kinky clubs, with my fiance and draw late at night and did very little writing. But I think that's what residencies should be, because it was also kind of like a little August break for me. So that was really nice. I went to Gibraltar Island, Toronto Island. Gibraltar is a point on the island overall, and it was really nice. I swam a lot. Yeah. Alright, so these are usually, how I started with pins is I worked for an independent bookstore, and we make pins that we donate to charity a lot. Maybe this is a better view. So I've made a huge bag of 120 pins recently for the bookstore, and these are the ones that I'm making for my book launch. Right now we're going kind of with like a queer / Halloween, Hello Kitty Sanrio theme. I'm kind of obsessed with Sanrio right now, Hello Kitty, just because my next book after this one is going to be about, like, it's going to be dark and gritty, but also about my love of Hello Kitty. And so in Toronto, my fiance was looking for sports souvenirs to buy. He's like a huge sports fan, and I was looking for Hello Kitty. So while doing that, I was also just drawing Hello Kitty because it was fun to draw. And I'm not the best artist, so it's not like perfect, but people seem to really like these. We make like $800 a year. $800 a month by donation at the bookstore. And people seem to like my imperfect pins, so that's nice because I get to like make like these teeny tiny drawings, and they take like a couple minutes each, and then I never get bored drawing the same thing, because I get bored a lot. I think like I get ADHD, like it is diagnosed, along with like anxiety, depression, whatever. Alright. So, yeah. It's funny because the cat is looking at the face of Hello Kitty. I don't know if I would want a white cat though. I would like a black cat. I feel like every time I do this, the table bumps a little bit. It's probably going to be really rocky, but I don't care. these videos are unedited because I don't have the time for that, and I'm just speaking and then recording them and then uploading them. And wait, what was that? Okay. And hopefully it works out. In general, I'm just really lazy. But okay, no, I'm not lazy. I have cancer-induced chronic fatigue syndrome that makes me really low energy, and between work and school and writing stuff and my art, I just don't have time to edit videos very much, which is fine because I like these unfiltered. It's been my dream to just stay unfiltered games and just talk and make videos at the same time. Because in real life, I say really unhinged things to people. And they're like, you should be a comedian. But I'm like, I don't want to be a comedian. I already do enough stuff on stage as a poet. So I can invest that energy into, I guess, this channel. And that way, people around me also don't have to listen to me all the time, make really bad jokes. I think I'm out of things to say, so you're just gonna watch me make the rest of these, and it's gonna take a while, and that's fine. I'm probably shaking the camera a lot on my desk. It's by far not the most sturdy. I'm tightening up the camera, and I'll figure out a better way to do all this. I'm just impressed that I actually got like somewhat of a straight angle for my desk. And I did clean up. Usually it's covered in cat hair, and you know why. Okay. Now the cat has kind of stepped aside to look at the people downstairs talking about things. We live in a pretty quiet neighborhood. With sounds from the city every once in a while. I kind of like listening to people talk outside late at night. This is like my first apartment and first stable place to live, and also first time having a patio. So I really like staying out there late at night, and especially in the summer because it's much cooler outside. I have like a little blanket area set up, and I just kind of lie down and just play solitaire on my phone or scroll or read. I need to get a light outside but to read better, but there is no electricity plug outside, or whatever that is called, electrical outlet, whatever. And I could do an extension rod, but it's just something I need to figure out. Because then every time I want to close the patio door, I'd have to unplug the electrical outlet from the light, so then that would be a hassle. So I need to decide whether I want to do that. So not the best place for late night reading, but I like that. I read there mid-afternoon a lot more often. At night I just kind of chill out there. Before I had cancer, which was like 4 or 5 years ago now, I used to be an early riser. My life was really different then, and I'd wake up at like 6 a.m. and have coffee and do my stuff. There was also a time, like in my first year of undergrad, where I was homeless. That's another story, but I was living in the student lounge sleeping on a couch, And so I kind of had to wake up really early. It wasn't that it wasn't allowed, it's just people, if they found out, people who were close to me would have wanted to help. But no one was really in a position to help, and it would have just made my life harder. So I just kind of kept it a secret and woke up really early, around like 6 or 7 a.m. And then just worked on from that point on. But these days, there's been a lot of grief. My 20s have honestly been hell. There's been really good moments, but like, it's been hell. And every year it's no easier than the next. People say wait until I'm 30 and maybe it'll get easier. So like, but by this point, like, I'm turning 25 next month, and I'm kind of just, at this point I'm used to hard years. But one of the repercussions of that is that memory and trauma stays in our bodies, and over time it's compounded. And so I don't know, I've just gotten like inside in my chest, I'm both like numb and also just feeling really heavy all the time and just kind of dissociating. So at night I just kind of like to spend some time by myself once my partner's asleep, and just sit out on that patio and kind of just listen to music and zone out or do art. And it kind of just lets me stay in one place with my grief and just acknowledge it. Be like, these are your feelings. And a lot of the grief is systemic issues. Things I can't really do anything about. And so I think it's one thing to acknowledge it, and it helps me move forward in my life. The poet Mary Oliver has this quote where she says, she writes in the poem Wild Geese, which is one of my favorite poems. She has the line, "Tell me your grief, or tell me your sorrows, and I'll tell you mine." And I think it's such a beautiful line of reciprocity and listening. And the poem kind of implies you're, in conversation with someone else, and that you're listening to them as they tell you their grief, but at the same time, they're also promising to listen to you with their ears and their hearts. And at the same time, like these days, I feel like it's really hard to articulate my grief, because I just feel everything at once. And I'm both with the love of my life and happily engaged, and my life is full of love, and at the same time I'm heartbroken all the time, and I just kind of carry that heartbreak and grief with me wherever I go. And sometimes the words come out, and when they want to be expressed, they're expressed. But other times I feel like I can't tell anyone my grief, and there's a lot of reasons for that. And that's okay too. When it gets to October more, I'm going to be making a lot more like Halloween ones. I love Halloween. One of my other passions is ghosts. And again, it's because couple years ago, right before my cancer diagnosis, 3 poets in my community passed away in the same week, and it was actually on Remembrance Day, September 11th. No, November 11th. November 11th. And one of them was I had a really strong connection to, and my close ones were also really close with her, and so it was basically a collective grief, community grief. That kind of happened at the same time that climate change and the atmospheric river just kind of rained down where I live, and it was just a mood. Grief was basically the environment and our lives, and that entire month. Basically, I was diagnosed with cancer a month later, and that's a whole nother story, but I don't know, death was just something that I no longer became afraid of. People around me were afraid, and I didn't want to die for them. And that's why I actually advocated a lot for myself and for my care to get a surgery spot, because I almost didn't get one on time. But it wasn't because I was afraid of death. It was because I saw how much my loved ones were afraid of me dying. Even after I was in remission, and it's been a few years now, I don't have cancer anymore. I don't know, I feel like death never left me. I feel like I kind of just feel pulled towards graveyards and cemeteries, and I'd actually be very happy with a job working in a cemetery or graveyard. If I could drive, and I cannot drive. I may require a driver's license for that, but sometimes I feel like I'm more dead than alive. There's a part of me that's dead, and at the same time as it's living. I don't know, and I just feel pulled with dead. But also, I love ghosts on Halloween because they're freaking adorable and so fun to draw. And so I have a lot of Halloween stuff coming soon. The cat also needs to be fed. By the way, her full name is Danny Loki Chaos. She is 5 or 6 years old. I got her in 2019, so she's turning 6 this year. My other cat, the gray one, which you'll meet at some point in my videos, his name is Nimbus Sibelpuff. He is 3 years old. And then my fiance has a cat. Her name is Kendall. She's kind of like a tuxedo cat, with all black with a little white tummy, a white mustache, and white paws or mittens, which is so cute. But she's 16. So many different ages. Doing quite well with these pens. Usually I mess 1 or 2 up, but so far so good. I'm also so used to making pens at this point, I'm kind of just doing it by muscle memory. One day I'll film myself drawing the pins. That'll be another video. Today I'm just getting the stuff I have ready, packed, and done. this one. Okay, there we go. I have so much anxiety when it freezes up or when a button doesn't come out properly because I spend a lot of time and effort on each of the pins and I make every single one by hand. So when one is broken and it needs to be discarded, it's basically my whole work for that pin is basically ruined, which is really sad. But I also like seeing the pins when they come out after they get made. It's really nice to see them kind of smooth with the transparent filter on them. Okay, and this one is has a little white part, so I'm just gonna color that in. I know there's probably a better way, and again, I'm not the best artist, but I like to make things with my hands for the sake of making them. There. So that's what I do. That's what I do when there's too much of a white border on the pins because I messed it up. Annie's actually being really good, and I'm glad it's because I fed her before I made this video. Otherwise, she'd be meowing. Sometimes she bites me for food. Last one. I'm not gonna say bye because that's weird. And already there's pressure on the desk. But those are the pins. And I'll probably color some of the white borders in if they're showing later. And they're gonna be for the most recent, well, the most upcoming events coming up later this September for my book.